Hey guys, once again welcome back in our video series of C programming by TechBooster. So guys, in this video we'll learn about variables and constants. And here the first question is, what is a variable? So you can see variables are the name of memory locations where we can store our data. And whenever I talk about my data, if I consider two different data like your 10 and 20, and if I want to add them, my output answer will be 30. Now, where to store this particular value 30? In order to store this particular value 30, we need to have certain memory location. And the name of that particular memory location is known as variable. If I give you a very simple example here, if I consider a hotel, in our hotel we may have different number of rooms. And whenever a guest book a room, he or she is given certain room number so that the particular guest can easily reach that particular room, or also whenever required we can call that particular guest based on his or her room number. Similar is the case here in our programming language. Like if I talk about our memory, you can see this is my task manager, and in my performance you can see this is my memory, that is my RAM memory. So here all these small boxes, if I consider these small boxes as my memory location, and now if you store your data here, in that case, whenever later on you want to access your data, you need to have the name of that particular memory location so that you can easily access it. And the name of the particular memory location is known as variable. So guys, this is our variable. And now we need to understand how to name a variable. So here you can see this is an example. Here I have considered int a equals to 10. Here a is my variable which is holding an integer 10. So how to name your variable? In this case I have named this a, but there are certain rules set by your C language by which you can name your variable. Here you can see a variable can consist of your alphabets, numbers and underscores. But your variable cannot start with any number. So here in this case you can consider A, or you can consider A1, you can consider any name like Ram, Shyam, Jadu, Madhu, but you cannot start your variable with any numeric value. Like you cannot name it as 1A, 2B, that is not allowed. Third point here is your variable names cannot contain any specific character. It cannot contain comma or it cannot contain any space. So like you cannot consider any of your special characters like your @ you cannot consider any $sign, hash. All these specific characters are not allowed. You cannot even consider comma or space. And the third important thing here is variables are case sensitive. Like here in this case I have considered small a. If you consider another variable int capital A equals to 20, in that case our compiler will consider small a and capital A as two different variables. This is very important. Now we can see variables hold only one value at a time. Like in your program, if you repeat same variable, your single variable can store single value at a time. Like here in this case I have considered int a equals to 10. Again if I consider int a equals to 20, in that case my value of this particular variable will get updated and my new value will be 20. So let me show you this one in my code block. So here you can see this is one of my program. I have my main structure ready here. So here if I consider one of my variable int a equals to 10. Now if you want to display this one in your console, I will write print f. Now here I will consider my %d comma a. So now I'll end with my semicolon. If you run this one, I'll build and run this one, and you can see in your output, okay, so here I have missed a semicolon. Now if I build and run this one, you can see my output here is 10. My output here is 10. But if I use a equals to 30 here, now if I build and run this program, you can see my output now is 30 because I have repeated my variable, and as I have told you, our single variable can store single value at a time in a program. So guys, now I hope your variable is clear, and the other important thing here is whenever you name any variable, you need to use some relevant name. Although you can use any name following this certain condition, but using a relevant name will help you as well as others to understand your program in a better way. Now let's move forward and check out what is a constant. So constant is an entity whose value does not change during the execution of a program. Like you can see in our previous slide, variables can change during the execution of a program, but constant cannot change during the execution of a program. And if you look into this example, in order to define any of a variable as constant, you need to use this constant keyword. You can see this is my constant keyword. By using this constant keyword, you can consider any of your variable as constant. And if I talk about your types of constant, I have three defined types. First one is your integer constant, second one is your real constant, and third one is your character constant. Integer constant will hold any of your integer value, either positive or negative. Like you can see here in my example, I have 1, -19, 21 or any other integer value. Real constant will hold all of your fractional value or decimal values like 2.7, 7.0, -32.89. So these are my real constant. And third one is my character. Here you can consider any of your character, but your character needs to be within single quote or single inverted comma. So these are my types of constant. Now let me again open my code block and show you how this constant cannot change. Like here in this case, if I use constant, so here you can see I have used this constant keyword. Now if I run this program, I will have an error. So here you can see I have an error, assignment of read-only variable a. That is, this variable a is a constant, we cannot change its value. This is the error that you will get once you use constant. That is, you cannot change the value of a now. So guys, now I hope your constant is clear. So in our later videos, we will be using this variable and constant on a regular basis. So as of now, I will be winding this video here. We'll see you in my next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.